Hey guys, today I'm gonna show you how I'm making those Polish toilet spin butt meme videos. So if you wonder, I'm using Cinema 4D R20 and let's get started. First I'm gonna need an object which I can produce by clicking this cube icon on the top, and here we have the base of our object. Someone in the comment mentioned that they would like to see a stove spinning video, so today I'm gonna make that one. Okay, so now go to fillet right here on the right side, and by fillet radius add 8 centimeters, so it's a little bit rounded on the edges. Okay, now moving a bit to the top, you can adjust the sizes by going 180. Size Y I'm gonna leave it like that, and 180 like that. So now I have this object. By X I'm gonna go rather with not 160 but 180, by Z with 160. Okay, so now we have an okay looking base. Now I'm gonna need a door here with a handle and a window, 4 buttons here, and those ringy things on the top. So now by clicking a cube again and by filling with 8 centimeters, getting the sizes right, and having it placed like this on the front, we are having the door of the stove. Okay. Now I'm gonna need a handle, which will be created by another cube. Again, fillet by 8. Having the dimensions correct. And moving it to place like that. That's a bit too much fillet, like this. And now we have a door. Okay, so with the window, another cube. Again, tinkering with the sizes. And moving it into place, we have a nice little window. I'm gonna add color at the end, so you're gonna see the full picture. Now by having the base, I'm gonna need the 4 buttons. Firstly, I'm gonna go with an oil tank, rotate it 90 degrees, not on that axis, but on the Y axis, like this, radius of 10 and the height of 15. Now moving it into place too. We have a nice little button right there. Okay, by adjusting the cap height, you can get it much more to your liking. Now you have 1. You're gonna need 4 of these if you have 4 circles on the top. So you're gonna need to hold down Control while it's selected, Control, and with the left mouse click, drag it where you will like to copy it. So just like that, I just made 4 of those. Okay, now for it to be symmetric, I will just gonna eyeball it, motion, like that. And just like that. I think it's okay. Now we have the front done. Now at the top we are gonna need 4 cylinders. Now let's make it 10 radius, that's too little. Let's go with 25. Okay, that looks about right. Move it to place. Change the height so it doesn't have much to render. Okay, a little lower. To the front. And there we have it. We have one of those. So now, again, I can duplicate it. Moving it like this. Okay. Like that. And like that. I'm checking the Z positions of these two. I'm gonna copy it so it's equally spread. Okay, now coloring it. You will have to separately go to the tab Basic, use color turned on, and then changing the color of the object. I'll go with a nice 10% black for all of these 4. Okay, so we have those. Now with the base, I'm gonna go with a bit of grayish white. Okay, it's getting there. Okay. The door gonna be the same color. What's this? 82%. Now with the door too, same color. Nice. The window, I'm gonna make it a whitish blue. That's too bit. Not good. Okay, that looks about right. Now with the handle, I would like to use something black. Okay, like this. Now we have our stove. Okay, that's the backbone of our meme. So now I'm gonna save this by calling it stove 2. I had the first attempt and it did not really turn out well. So I'm gonna do it once again. So, for the next step, we will need to have this aligned at the middle of our screen. Nice, I think it's okay like this. And click on this render view. It gives you a preview of what you will render. So you can adjust it to be centered or the way you would like it to be. Okay, I think it's good like this. Nice. Now we will need a camera. To add this, you will need to click on the camera icon at the top. And you can see what it's looking at and in what angle. It's looking at the middle of the stove, so it's great. You can click on this icon to see what it is actually seeing. So you can make your animation. For the next step, we are gonna be making the animation. First of all, we need to group all these objects into one single group. Now rotate it like this. so it's really in the middle. Okay, good. By looking at the timeline here at the bottom, you can see all those frames you can use for this animation. Now go for the first one by having everything at default and click this icon. This will make a keyframe for you, and that's gonna be the start of our animation. Okay, so now drag this slider to the whole right where you want your animation to end, and make your object spin a whole 360, almost a whole 360. Not a whole 360, but minus like 5 degrees, because it will be much easier to make a loop out of it. So now click on the keyframe again. And it's not rotating, what the hell? Okay, I just fixed it. Now a bit like this. Keyframing again. And we will have this animation. Now check out this interpolation by value key. You will have to need to change interpolation spline to linear, because if you have it on spline, then the beginning and the end will be much slower than the middle of the animation, and it will be harder to make a loop. So now, if you watch our animation, it spins equally fast for the whole thing, which is just the thing we need. Now, go to render settings at the top, click edit render settings. Here at the output, I'm changing the resolution to 1080p, and on the save tab, you will have to change the format to MP4 and the output of your file to something like that. Now you can close this one. Oh no, not yet. Go back, and by output change the frame range and set the from to 0 and the to where your animation ends. For me it's 240, and you will need to render this amount of frames. Okay, you can close this now, go to render and add to render queue. This will ask you to save the project you're working on. Always click yes. Then by checking that everything is correct, click on start rendering. Okay, once it's fully green, it's finished, you can close this program and open your editing program. For me it's Vegas Pro 13. Go to your directory where you just saved it and drag it to the collection. Now you can drag it to the timeline and watch it spin. Nice. You can speed it up by holding Ctrl and dragging the edge of the video file for it to be smaller. After disabling resample, you can get rid of that weird motion blur effect and watch the video again. Now it's spinning faster. Now you want to have it to the front, drag it all the way to like 2 minutes and speed it down a bit. Now drag it to 2 minutes again, and I think it's good. You will need to make it a bit faster. No, still not fast enough. We can make it spin a lot faster by right-clicking, going to Insert Envelope, clicking Velocity, and by dragging this green line a bit to the top, you can multiply the speeding up effect of this clip. Now click play, and I think it needs just a bit more. Yep, I think it's cool. Now we will need the song. I'm gonna use my previous video with the spinning sync. I'm gonna remove the video track, another track, and by having the audio file you can size your video at the end of the audio, because it needs to be intact, not cut down, not even a second. Now by watching it, you can hear the glorious sound of that Polishman. Okay, now it's spinning. A bit too fast, in my opinion. Again, I'm slowing it down a bit. Now, I'm gonna add that glowing and glint effect. Okay. Looking at the stove like this, I'm gonna click on Event Effects and add Sony Glow and Sony Glint. Click OK, and now we're gonna edit these settings. I have a preset for this one. You can copy the values of this, and by the glow I always have to tinker a bit with these because it's not always the same. I think it's okay like this. Nice. As you can see, it's not really in the middle, so by fixing that, we're gonna click Pan Crop here, deleting the first keyframe, and clicking on a corner and dragging it to the middle. After that you can move this rectangle so the stove is really in the middle. I think that's good enough. Nice. Let's spin it once more. Okay, I think it's good. Now, select the whole video, go to Render As, search for Main Concept AVC ACC, and select Internet HD 1080p. Go to Customize Template and change the encode mode to render using CUDA if available. Now with NVIDIA GPUs you're gonna need CUDA, and with AMD GPUs you're gonna need OpenCL. I'm gonna go with CUDA here. Click OK and rename the file to Glorious Stove Spin. Now hit render and it's doing its magic.
Po twojej pysznej zupie nie ruszam dupy z klopa. Ta zupa była z mlekiem, na mleko mam alergię. Po twojej pysznej zupie nie ruszam dupy z klopa. Ta zupa była z mlekiem, na mleko mam alergię. Po twojej pysznej zupie nie ruszam dupy z klopa. Ta zupa była z mlekiem.